This tutorial is for Excel Project 20. The first thing you will need to do is download the data file from Canvas. Then you'll want to open that up. Once we get it opened, let's go ahead and save that by doing File and Save As. And we're going to browse for our Google Drive file stream. And then we'll go ahead and put that in our digital literacy folder, in our Excel folder. And we'll leave the name as Project 20 for now and hit save. Next up, our instructions tell us to remember the formatting rules for headings, subheadings, and column headings. So if I take a look at things, it looks like we've got our information, but things need to be formatted. So I'm going to go to my main heading here, make it 15 point, make it bold, and then I'm going to merge and center it across the two columns that make up our table below. And then I'm going to merge and center my subheading. And then my column headings, I'm going to go ahead and turn on a regular center, and I'm going to underline those. And it looks like I need to adjust my column widths a little, so I'm going to highlight those two columns and adjust the width. If I look back at things a little, my example here does have commas added to my attendance. So I'm going to go ahead and add those commas. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. So I'm going to highlight the numbers under attendance, and I'm going to turn on comma style, but that did add some decimal places, and I don't want those, so I'm going to decrease my decimal twice, and then I'm just going to readjust my column widths again. I also want to make sure that this is formatted properly, so I'm going to center it horizontally and vertically by going to my Page Layout tab. I'm going to launch the Page Setup group and go to the Margins tab, put a check mark by horizontally, a check mark by vertically, and click on OK. And if I do a quick print preview, this little guy should show up just in the center here. Now we're not going to print this, we're just worried about the chart, but we want to make sure we have things looking good anyway. Let's see. Next, our instructions tell us to create a line chart with markers illustrating the attendance at the X Games over the first 5 years. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight, because I need both pieces of information, I'm going to highlight both pieces, and I'm going to go ahead and grab the heading year and attendance for my line chart, and hopefully it'll put those in as my labels for the horizontal and vertical axis on my line chart, and we'll see what that looks like in just a minute. So we'll go to Insert, and we're going to go over to Charts and find our line charts. I'm going to go to the drop down. Now we've got different styles of line charts, and it is telling us that we want to do line charts with markers. So it is this one right here. And what it's given me is one line that's representing my attendance, it looks like, and one line that's representing the year. So it didn't really do things the way I wanted it to there. So what we're going to have to do is kind of edit the details. So I'm going to come up here to this Select Data tab. And I'm going to actually tell it to get rid of the year right here. So I'm going to click on year and I'm going to remove. And then here where it did my horizontal categories, where it has just that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's where I wanted the year to show up. So I'm going to edit that. And it gives me this little box to select. And I'm going to come over here and I'm going to select those years only, not the title. And then I'm going to click on OK again. Now it gave me those labels down below that say what each marker represents. And then I'm going to click on OK. So this shows you how, sometimes you think you know how to highlight the information, but when the chart itself comes up, it doesn't look quite right. But we can always go into that Select Data and change how the data is being represented. Now we do want this chart to go on a page of its own, so we're going to click on the Move Chart button, and we're going to put this on a new sheet. And this chart is going to be called History of the X Games. And here's our new chart. And we're going to click on our heading that currently says attendance. And with it selected, I only clicked on it once. I'm going to start typing, and I'm going to key in with my cap lock on, History of the X Games, and then press enter and it will replace that. Then I'm going to click inside that and get to the end of the S and press enter, so I'm on a line below, turn my cap lock off, and I'm going to put my subheading of Project 20. Now I do need to fix the font sizes of these, so I'm going to highlight the History of the X Games. I'm going to make that bold and 15 point. Then Project 20, I need to shrink down to 11 point. All right, next it tells us that the horizontal axis should be identified as year. So I'm going to come over to my plus chart elements here, and I'm going to go to my axis titles, but instead of just turning that on, I'm going to come over to this side, and I'm going to turn on my primary horizontal. That gives me my title here below. With it selected, I'm going to start typing, and it says it should be year with a capital Y. And we'll see that that pops up where I'm typing it in the formula bar. Then I'll press enter. And instead of the axis label, now it says year. Then I'm going to add another axis title, and I'm going to turn on the vertical, and with that one selected, This one is going to be number of people. So I'll start typing number of people, press enter, and that shows up there as well. Next it says change colors and fonts to enhance the appearance of the chart. So for example, I could click on my line chart or my line here, and I could go up to the format. And I could change the color of the line itself. Oops, I think I did the dots instead. And yep, that changed the dots. Let's see if we can do it through the formatting here. Okay, so that changes everything there. Let's go back to design. Oh, here we go. Our colors. So I can choose a different color scheme if I want that line to be a little bit different. So let's say I want it all to be like a green. I could choose that one. And now my line itself is green instead of red. If I want those dots to show up a little bit more, I could change the color of those dots like to black. And now I have black dots on that green line. Anyway, you can play with a few things there if you would like. The next thing it says is to add a header with your name, period, and file name. So we're going to go up to the Insert tab. And we're going to go, whoops, I need to stop selecting anything. I need to click off my chart area. There we go. Then the text option shows up. I'm going to click on text and do header and footer. And I'm going to do a custom header. So at the left, I'm going to have my name. In the center, it wants my class period. And at the right, we want the file name. So kind of find that insert file name button there. And then I'm going to say OK and OK. Then it wants this one saved as Project 20, which it is currently. So I'm just going to hit save to make sure that it's updated and saved all my changes. Then convert to a PDF. So I'm going to go to File, down to Export, then create PDF XPS. Create PDF XPS. Make sure I'm in my same folder, my digital literacy Excel folder. Keep the name Project 20 and go ahead and publish that. And then make sure in Canvas you upload your PDF version to Canvas.